Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me today for some Nürburgring laps in what might be my last drive in the red edition Ford Focus RS, my project car of the Shmeemobiles. I think though it is time that the car is going to be sold, but before that happens, today we need to do some laps even if the weather here in the Eifel Mountains is a little bit sketchy. Of course, it's been 2.5 years in the making, so much time has gone into this car. I will explain all though when we head on out to go for some laps here at the Green Hell. I'm sure that you guys are well aware of the extensive list of modifications that we've made to this car in the 2.5 years that I've owned it. I never thought that I would actually have it for quite so long, to be honest. Things this year haven't gone entirely as planned. You can tell the track has just opened because all of the other cars around are getting set to head on out. But I remember the collection day well. I headed with my blue RS at the time out to Essex Ford for the double collection day of this car, one of 300 red editions of the Mark III Focus RS. And at the same time, my Heritage edition, one of 50, which I'll be keeping as a permanent Shmeemobile. By the way, there's also something I want to show you inside the car that connects to that in just a moment. But almost straight after collection day of this car, we took it for the modification, starting at Prototrim, where it had the completely new interior made in a way that Focus RSs haven't really seen before. Then we took it to Dub Customs to fit the Ventus Veloce carbon fibre aero kit, so the bonnet, the grille surround, the splitter, the fog light surrounds, the flicks, the side skirts, the wing, the diffuser, and many more parts. By the way, Schmark 150, who's going out in his Mini, was actually responsible for driving this car out here so that I could take it out on the ring today. And as you can tell from all of the cars actually heading on out, the track has just opened again, which is great. We'll be able to go out in a minute, and fingers crossed that the weather stays clear as well. But the modifications obviously didn't stop there. We went to Mountune, where at the front you can see the Mountune logo on the cooler, actually unique having that in race red, and the big upgrades, completely rebuild of the engine up to about 500 horsepower and a lot of torque. Then we've got the BBS FI-R wheels, we've got the Anderson composite side fenders, we've got the SS tuning steering wheel, we've got the Xforce Varex exhaust system, which you can control from your app on your phone. It's all very, very clever, and basically a lot of work has gone into it. So you might be wondering, why, therefore, am I going to sell it? Well, like I said, I didn't really intend to keep it as long as I actually have done. The plan earlier this year was to spend a bit of time in the spring driving it here at the Nürburgring and then selling it, but of course, things had other ideas this year. Travel restrictions basically put a stop to that and meant that I haven't been able to drive the car. It's not been over here in Germany, well I have, until recently when Schmark brought it out. I do want to come through though and show you a few more things, but basically, I decided it's time. You know, there are some more cars soon to arrive in the garage. There are going to be plenty of fun projects ahead. And the big fun about this has actually been to build it, to create it, to make a unique project, to turn it into a one-of-a-kind. So inside here, let me show you quickly what we have awaiting us that I want to show you guys. The Mini-Champs Mini Shmeemobiles, the 1:87 scale models of the Ford GT and the Heritage RS, matched to the Shmeemobile specifications, limited to just 500 each. You can actually pre-order them now. Deliveries will start in December, and there are 500 of each at €19.45. I'll pop the links to those down below. But continuing from some of the larger scale models we've made, those are really very, very cool. Anyway, for the moment, let's start the car. As I've said, track is now open. We've got the exhaust valve control just here. Of course, we want to have that open and in the noisiest possible mode, I think, to have some fun. Obviously, we'll have to get the settings right. It's been a while since I drove this car. I have had it round the ring before, but about 1.5 years ago, we'll go into sport mode. I think for the ring, we'll probably have the stiffer suspension setting. But basically, it's running in the full map, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun. It's basically what the car's been built for, and while it might be a little bit drizzly and damp out there, I suspect this is going to be seriously entertaining. So let's do it. Some Nürburgring laps for the final drive in my red edition Focus RS. All just about ready, and for a bit of fun, I'm taking both of these around with me. Technically, all 3 Ford Shmeemobiles going for a lap together. That's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? Anyway, let's go out. It is Touristenfahrten, which means I have my card, it's topped up, it's ready. Normal road rules apply, toll road for the Nürburgring Nordschleife, but now with the 4-wheel drive Focus RS. And like I said, I have taken this car around for some laps, joined by Misha before we went for an ice cream run. That feels like quite a long time ago now, and I am expecting it to be pretty busy this afternoon. Just looking around, there's a lot of traffic, a lot of people out enjoying the Nürburgring, one of the last days of the year that it's still open, which means basically, given that it is not pouring with rain and totally wet, it is quite busy. So hopefully all will go well. I think there'll be a bit of a queue when we get down towards the entrance, buzz my card on the machine, and then we'll be going straight on out. Through the barriers then, and ready to head on for TF, and it is looking very, very busy. There are lots of cars out today. We have the Sport Cup 2 tyres on this car as well. We are currently in the full tune. Up ahead I can see GT3 RSs, AMG GTS, GT3 RS again, M2 competition in front. I need to build myself up to it a little bit because I haven't actually driven this car for quite a while, so... well, there you feel the power, the torque. This car is really fast. I mean, it's like supercar fast, right? Goodness me. Even in this, we get through to 190 at the first compression. And this is basically what this car was built to do, to ride the bumps of the Nordschleife, with the pops and bangs from the exhaust system. I'm gonna do a couple of laps. It's the full endurance layout as well, so we get to do a lap around the Grand Prix track here too. It's really fast. Heavy, heavy, heavy braking zone though for T1 of the GP up here. Down to second gear in fact. Overtaking is always on the left. This guy's very kindly popped on his right indicator and moved on over. It takes some getting used to, you know, even just the difference between rear-wheel drive cars and four-wheel drive. Early power, but... getting a bit of slide on as well. It's fun to feel that we can accelerate harder than the M2 competition though. Could potentially go flat through here. This is actually really quite interesting. Sorry, it's just a regular M2, not an M2 comp, my bad. Got the chicane. Gosh, they put in some proper big bumps to stop you cutting the corners. Obviously they don't want the gravel to go everywhere there. Thank you to that person as we come back towards the Green Hell Nordschleife proper. And the Hats and Back section. Thank you to the M3. Tell you, the brakes feel good. Obviously first opportunity to really use them and to rely on them. There has been an oil spillage earlier, by the way, out of the foxhole, so we need to watch for that when we get down there. Carrera T. Oh, as we go through. This car, it's a Focus RS, but my word, it's fast. Gosh, this in the right hands would be a really, really, really quick weapon around here. I mean, I'm still sub 100 laps at this point, but nearly at my 100th, my century of Nürburgring laps. This is the long straight out towards Schwedenkreuz, but it's looking very, very, very busy, so let's carefully squeeze through. I tell you what, it feels much more go-karty in here than when you're driving, say, the McLaren or the AMG GTR, and a bit of sunshine as well. Wow, 230 across the crest. Now we've got the off-camber, tyres are definitely starting to get some heat in them. Heavy braking zone into Arenberg. Down to third gear. Get some tyre squeal. It's clearly been wet here, you can see some of the ground drying up. Time to go flat out up the hill. Make the most of as much power as we've got. Rev it out as well. Almost 7,000 to the red line. Then we're going to come in towards Bergwerk. Leaves on the track as well. Got to watch for those. Gets very, very slippy. But here, the early power that you can apply when you're in a four-wheel drive. I haven't driven that many four-wheel drives around. Of course, I've done some laps in my blue RS. In fact, some of my very first laps here at the Nürburgring were in my blue RS. A little bit of congestion as we come to Stylestrecker. The build up towards the carousel. here, you'd hope, with the line through the carousel. Rides that pretty well. Much better than the supercars. And out the exit and away we go. Tell you what, that A35 saloon, that's decently quick out of the corner. So it's quite fun giving chase to the A35. This car is officially now a ring track tool. Galgenkopf, and this will be basically the end of a full lap of the Nordschleife. Let's coast it in. Give the brakes a break, quite literally. Woo! That was cool. This car was really cool. The exhaust. This was really, really good fun. Now I don't want to sell it. I knew that would happen. I knew I'd get to the end of a lap and be like, that was too much fun. That was just too much fun. I've had a short break to let the car cool down, and unfortunately it is now basically a little bit wet. You can see that it is currently raining, which is not the ideal weather conditions and scenario for this kind of activity. So I guess some common sense will have to apply on lap 2. Sport Cup 2s in the drizzle, which is not fantastic. Nonetheless, I think Mad for Mini has gone out ahead, so maybe we'll see him on the way around. For the moment, it is up to the ticket barrier. Give that a beep. And off we go. I guess that I now run the risk of going around a corner to find a wet track, and I also have a GT3 RS right behind, which is probably going to leave me a little bit for dead up the straight. Yes, I can see him already coming past. Yes, that sound, so good. Okay, we are away then. That car is on it. We also have a pretty cool M2 right behind. I'm gonna let this one just go straight past us as well. Cool, proper track prepped car. There are so many cars here which are literally built for the purpose. To come here to drive hard. Oh, I've got my exhaust valves closed. That's going to be an interesting challenge to work on, because of course we need the airflow to be doing what it's supposed to do along here. I was actually just having a chat with the guy driving the M2 in front now. That thing is seriously stripped out, no back seats, running very low, very mean, very aggressive. Slightly quicker than this in the straight line as we come up to the chicane here. Get ready to throw it through. Four-wheel drive, really, that's where it saves and gives us so much more pace. As we come back towards Nordschleife proper, I can see Mad for Mini up ahead. That's funny, he's kindly letting me go, but he's faster. Woo, get ready for it to go light. Mad for Mini, Schmarks, Mini GP2.
getting me through as we come through Schwedenkreuz. Watch out for the off camber. Got the Porsche 944 and the Golf colours in front. Go, go, go! Full power ahead. This is cool, just watching out for the areas of the oil spills from earlier. Into the mist, taking third gear. Missed the first curb, hit the second curb, go wide on the third curb. As we come then towards the siphon, heavy braking zone. Take second. There's so much more to think about when you're in a manual car. This thing is so fast. That's what I'm finding crazy about this drive. I mean, I should have perhaps gone down into fourth gear there, but my ears are popping like crazy as we go up the hill. As we come towards Stijlstrecke. All the way down to third. But here, this is where in a rear wheel drive car, yeah, you can see the difference, right? With the cars ahead, how we can catch up so much. Wait for it. Past the M2 we go. This is quite fun actually. We're about the same pace how we're driving. I imagine he's taking it easy to make my life a little bit easier. This is where I wish I had a touch more straight line acceleration to pull away from the Porsche who's kindly let us go. This place better, and even in a car like this, can pedal around really quite fast. I'm actually, if I can say this, quite proud of myself that I have managed to learn and improve so much compared to, well, not all that long ago to be honest, driving here. Don't forget, this isn't a computer game. This is driving for real here on the Nordschleife. Can feel it's a little bit wetter here. Watch out for the car, he spotted us. Thank you. Yeah, the wipers are running properly now. As we come then towards the end, I'm going to start to just take it a little bit more easily. Just cool down the car, because, do you know what? I'm going to call it a day there at that number of laps, 2 laps. Just a mega experience. Let the M2 go back through. Nice one to drive with you there. Galgenkopf. Yeah, really, yeah, this car, do you know what? Whoever buys this car from me, you are in for a treat. It's mega, absolutely mega. And that, remember, is before any suspension work. We never changed the suspension or did any geo. This is from the factory. That would have, I guess, been next on the list. That, along with a couple of other ideas. But like I said, I haven't driven the car for the last, well, basically 6 months. So it's off from here for a proper service at Mountune, full and thorough check over to make sure it's in tip-top shape. And that will basically be that with it. Unfortunately, it's going to be the end of the day for the Red RS of the Shmeemobile. And of course, I'll let you guys know when it's been purchased, when it's on its way to a new home. But for me, I would say that wasn't a bad way to wrap things up. To say farewell to it with very, very, very fond memories, and lots and lots and lots of pops and bangs.
That was awesome, but now parked back up where I also have the SLS Black Series out here, which would probably be about the least appropriate car I could possibly drive in these weather conditions. The castle almost disappearing into the clouds. In fact, today it was actually forecast to be bright, clear, sunny and dry, which it most certainly is not. The surprises of the Eiffel Mountains, but I suspect that is also why it was quite so busy today as a result. Now, what an epic drive though with the Red RS. Great to finally get it back out here for some proper laps of the Green Hell, approaching towards my 100th lap. Of course, this summer I intended to do so many more, but having come over with the SLS Black Series and with all the travel restrictions that have been in place since then, I've been doing laps with as many of the Shmeemobiles as I could, the SLS, the GTR Pro, the Senna, the Ford GT, the GT8 recently, but finally now with the Red RS as well. I don't think the car is complete in terms of the project. It's been so fun to work all the way through it, but it could do with some new suspension, a geometry setup as well, and I'm sure a couple more things that could go on top of it to make it even crazier. But what a journey it has been, sharing the adventure with you to build up this car, to make it totally my own, to say let's do it, to just about every idea that we could have, to go all the way through it, to work with some amazing partners who have supported it along the way, to whom I cannot say thank you enough, to build a unique Shmeemobile. It's not going to be the last time I ever do it. I'm sure the next project is only just around the corner, but for now, despite thinking, or despite not really thinking about how the car is actually going to get back home to go for its next service, to have a full check over, that was basically my last drive in it. Nonetheless, the Heritage RS will be staying in the Shmeemobiles, at which point we do have the mini shafts 1:87 scale models of the Heritage RS and the Ford GT, 500 of each, limited run. Those are available with the link that you'll find in the description to mini shafts to be purchased from now. Pre-orders with delivery starting before the end of the year. For today though, fun on the Nordschleife as always. Thank you very much for joining in the adventure with the Red RS. What a car it's been, what a Shmeemobile it's been for the last 2.5 years, but that is sadly the end for now. We'll be moving on to a new home where I'm sure it's going to be enjoyed just as much. That is it for now though. Thank you very much for watching as always guys, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!